So let's try our stretching. Imagine the air is water, so resisting the movement. Feel the drag. Up and down. Just try a bit with the arms behind, just to hit that point on the spine that needs to come in a little bit. Pressure on this point on the spine allows the sacrum and the sternum to release away from each other. Back to prayer. And now just reaching up with both hands and pulling the head right back. We're trying to get the spine to sort of click, 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 all the way up to the head from that point, really, that we just have our arms against. Hands out. One hand turning over. Okay, so rub the hands and do a bit of palming a minute or so. But try the knees first. Just trying to get the belly and the back into it. And then rubbing the hands again, and now we'll do the palming. Palms. And then the hands up, pointing the two fingers and hands out, and one at a time. So the hand that's pulling in is pulling your head and your eyes towards it. Hands up and down. And let's rub them again and do the belly. And hands on the belly. Just push in a little bit so you really feel it. And then just allow the head to tip. like you've just got out of the pool and you're draining your ears. And then the hands just pulling the belly in and releasing. So tight and release. It's easing into bent legs and gentle movement. Feel the mood shift. As the leg straightens, it sort of becomes cheerful. So that's the equivalent of the spine straightening and the heart lifting. And then as the leg bends, it gets sad. That's the feeling of the heart dropping, disheartenment and enheartenment, as John called them. And they're always there. So the heart drops, but then it lifts again. The bending, that's like the gravity, the slow descent, the tear rolling down the face. It's a little bit sad and liquid. The tear is about to fall from your eye. And then the other leg is the fire, the one that's straightening the candle flame. The burst of flame that flares upwards. So you've got the sad, drooping water, and then here something surges through you. So they're alternating all the time. They're there all the time. And it's the interaction of these that produces the energy. Fire and water will produce steam. And that's, for the Chinese, is the image of energy, qi. Life is a veil of tears. It used to be, didn't it? I mean, life really was suffering. You'd see loved ones dying all the time. Life would be difficult. We've made it too easy for ourselves. Just, and so what's more awful? The tears that are taking you down into this depression and pain, or the risk of the fire, the risk of looking up and out. Awful in the sense of full of awe. Just the thought of it takes your breath away. Sacrum is being dragged down. My heart is flaring upwards. Imagine your sacrum is just this big lump of ice that's heavy, but also slowly melting, so it's dripping. You have like water dripping off the end of your tail. And then here, this is just flickering or flaring upwards. You know, it's that Blake image of, is it Albion? You know, the naked man, the beautiful naked man with the head like the sun. Not a halo, it's more like a corona. And he's always floating, isn't he? So it's the limen, the threshold, the boundary. That's where we want to dwell. So we have the sinking, the earth, and we have the rising, the gravity and the levity, so the heavens. And we're sort of hovering between the two. That's the sense. Now let's just feels very different when you turn away from the front than when you turn back to the front. Basically, to turn away from the front, you need to straighten both legs. In other words, that's the fire, the light flaring up through you. And to turn back to the front, you need to bend both legs, which is the water seeping down. We want to feel the range, feel the emotion, the feeling, and let it spark the imagination. The turning back to the front and the pulling in is the yielding phase. And then the turning away from the front to the side is the active attacking phase. like you're throwing these wings, this cape around yourself, and then revealing. And now let's just turn. The spinning top. The centrifugal. Something's lifting. Imagine a workman shoveling shit. So he digs the spade or the shovel into the sand or whatever and throws it. And whilst the sand is flying through the air, he's back taking another shovelful. So what the observer sees is these two things, which is this flying sand, but also this crouching man digging into the ground. So they're your two aspects. Your arms are the sand that's lightly flying through the air, and your core, your root and your body, especially around your spine, is getting down and into the ground. So imagine you've had a glass of wine. I mean, you'd stop giving a fuck, wouldn't you? You just, oh, fuck it, I'll just go for it and just have a laugh. That's the interesting thing about drugs is, if you've taken them like a couple of times or whatever, so you have that experience, then you can just close your eyes and just induce a trip mildly. And so get the mind to do what it would do when it was under the influence. And it's the same with alcohol. You can just imagine, oh shit, you know, you're sort of a little bit wobbly and you're giggly. You know, we want to just be able to change our mind, thrust ourselves into a different mood. I've got a student. Sometimes I arrive and she just says, I'm in a bad mood. And I says, well, just create a good mood. What's the problem? You know, she looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm sinking, I'm melting. Okay, let's try the end. So reaching up, down, down the legs into the ground, and then drawing up energy from the ground, down the branches, up to the sky, drawing energy down from the sky. But the Ents in Lord of the Rings, they did them really well. You see their feet, their legs look like tree trunks, and when they put the foot on the ground, there's these roots that extend down, a bit like toes. And so our toes have to be active. We have to be able to extend each toe individually. So I've got these wriggling, at least 5 roots coming out of each foot. 6 if you count the heel. The other creature that's really interesting in Lord of the Rings is Gollum. Remember how he's crouching all the time, but he's really nimble. And he's always in 2 minds. Bring it back to riding horse. The melting sacrum. And the flaming heart. So they say in Chinese medicine, the kidneys are both fire and water. So they have a water aspect and a fire aspect. But you can really feel that with the heart. So like the deep heart is quite sort of watery. That's the sort of sad heart. And then the upper heart, the thymus, is passionate and fiery. That Michel Foucault, the French philosopher. And he was gay and really into S&M, died of AIDS in 1984. He used to say, basically, love is depressive and passion is the antidote to that. Now let's figure of 8. Something's flaring out and I just suck it around, bring it back in, and then again something flares out here. So the figure of 8 is like a figure of 8 of fire. So way something reaches out, but then I have to do something to suck it back in. So I need this ability to let my energy out, but then I also need this ability to draw it back in. And they're opposites. It's just waving hands in the clouds again, just sort of holding the ball to the side. And then the other side. Feel the hand that comes up. So first of all, that hand has to drop down here. And then it can rise up once it's caught some energy from the ground. So it needs fuel. It needs to catch something here, and then it can bring it up. And then exactly the same thing, but just using it to bring the foot up instead. So I take this. The energy releases here from the sinking. I need to sink in a way, not simply bending my leg, but relaxing down into the leg. So my leg is actually straightening, but I'm relaxing downwards, and that is squeezing like this area of the hip open and allowing something to come out from behind, which you can then use the hand to bring around. So I'm sinking down. In order to get it, I really have to be this side of the foot. If I'm this side of the foot, then it doesn't really work. So I've got to get down and open here. Feels like the sacroiliac. So the sacroiliac sort of squeezes open. I'm just very sunk. It's all from the sinking, but sinking as a relaxation, which for the Chinese, sink and relax is just one term in Chinese. It's just, we translate it as sink and relax. Because to us, sinking doesn't necessarily involve relaxation, and relaxation doesn't necessarily involve sinking. But if you're relaxing the body, then you're releasing to gravity, you're letting go and letting gravity take over to a degree. And if you just repeat this, then you feel it getting into the hips, my hips wanting to swing out. And that will get me into that little toe outside edge. Okay, so let's finish. So just come back to riding horse, touching base again. Sacrum, whoa, dripping down, arms flaring upwards. The arms express your heart. The legs express your dantian, your sacrum. Okay, let's bring the feet up. Yeah, exactly the same principles here. It's just more compact. It's just neater, tidier.